Hi guys, Pete here, Rusty Rex. My father had a saying, or has a saying, don't raise more devils than you can handle. No, that's not the one. Don't give away all your secrets. Alright, now I'm going to give away a secret here, which will affect almost all Super Dream owners at some point, or Dream, the CB400T, T50T, the T50N, 400N, etc., and even the CB450DX. This problem, it's one of them things that affects everyone. It's like hemorrhoids. Either you've had it, you will have it, or you've got it at the moment. Now, this problem is quite simple. You start the bike, you have no electrics. You could be out for a ride, all of a sudden all your electrics go. There's a very simple solution to it. Without going through the fuses, all the electrics, the connections to your solenoid and all that, forget it, you don't need any of that. So, let's show you what the problem is, and that way you can solve it. Right guys, first thing you need to do, this will solve all the missing electrics on, like I say, a Super Dream, etc. Clean this hole, right? Just get a bit of sandpaper, clean that hole. Alright, that's all. That'll do. Right, you'll see why in a minute. Right, second problem. Let's take you over here. Right, on your bike, you'll find that you have this channel in the back of the engine. Right. Now for this you need some copper grease. You need a rag for this bit, and what I usually use is a small wire brush just to get in here and in the ends. It's over here, hang on. Ouch. Small wire brush like that on a drill, just get in there, clean it up, also get in there. And you can fit in that section, you can fit in that side. You need to clean in this channel all the way through, both ends. Then get some copper grease. This will stop galvanic corrosion, as they call it. A little bit of copper grease. Smear it in there. It acts as whatever it is. Just need to get that in there. Don't need a heck of a lot. And a little bit in each end. Like that. A little bit in that end. Right. And then wipe any excess off the top. Wipe your finger. Right. Next part. Okay guys, so I painted the frame. Just got a quick coat of black. Stripped it down with some of these things, which are quite good. Didn't take me 2 days like it normally does. So I'm going to get the engine, bring it over here. Right. Now bear in mind this isn't the easiest job. This bit. Alright. Put the frame down there onto that part. Make sure you don't trap the wires in it. Lean the engine forward. Try and get this frame on. Right, like so. Right. Now, a couple of bolts. Just throw that front engine mount on quickly to line up the frame. No other reason. It will be coming off again. Right, one. Now, if you do this, it means that the back engine mounts can't be that far out. Right, two. Now, let's move this over. Right, next part of doing this. I'll lower this camera down so you can see better. Right. Now, on a Dream or Super Dream, the problem that you got is this. Yeah, I know it doesn't line up exactly at the moment. And this bolt, they are your problems. They're why you got no electrics. So, what we do, a bit more of our copper grease down the bolt. Don't need to be huge amounts, just all the way down. Right. Now, this bolt's got to go in from the other side, which is a bit of a pain to film, but it's one of them things. Right, just a nice coating of copper grease. Try and get a bit up near the base of the head of the bolt, like that. Right, wipe your finger on the rag. Now, once you've got it like that, you put this bolt in, which shouldn't be too hard now. Now you put it in from the other side. Now you're going to say to me, why'd you put it in from the other side? Well, there's a very good reason for that, which I will show you as soon as I've got this bolt in. Which is always a pain to line up for some reason. Right. So now, that bolt then goes through there. Now, so we now have this bolt here. You will now need the earth lead. Make sure you clean up the end of it. Right, nothing major. Put a bit of copper grease just inside it. Right, stupid as it sounds. Don't need it on the actual outside edge. Just in the middle. Right. And you need this bracket. Right, then what you do is, you've got two ways of doing this. You can either put either of them on first, but I always put the bracket on first. That bracket goes in there. That goes in there, or wherever you want it. Actually, I'm gonna, because it's a custom build, and move it further up. Then put a nut on. Alright, that's why the bolt goes in from the other side, so you can put the nut on this side. Alright, then quite simply do the nut up. Now, if you're doing this with the engine in the bike, there is something very simple you can do. If you have no electrics on your bike, take the bolt out, quite literally take the generator cover off. Well, remove the gear lever, take the generator cover off, and then once you've got the generator cover off, you can undo this side of it and slide the bolt out that way. Then you can get that small wire brush, fit it in the hole, run it for a few seconds, take it out, do the same on the other side, clean up the bolt the best you can, put some copper grease on it, and put it all back together, and you'll find your electrics come back. It is that simple, guys. That is all that affects the electrics and cuts them out on this bike. Very simple thing. Right, next we've got this bracket here. I know that isn't done up particularly great at the moment, but I'll tighten that up later. These two cables, which are the neutral light switch and the oil pressure sensor, they go through there. You can get this white covering, which I recommend everyone replaces. On my CB400T, as you can see, I've replaced it on there because it tidies your bike up in the wind. So it's ever so cheap. It's about, what was it, about £2 or whatever for these two bits of sleeve, and you just put them over the wires. It does take a bit of struggling to get them over the Honda connectors, but you can do it. Right, so there's that bit. Right, now I have to get the engine mounting bolts for the front and the rear. So they're both set over here. Right, there's the front lower one. So we are now going to put that in. That's why I say these are coming off again, because they're not urgent that they stay on there at the moment. Now, they should come out. I might have to put the rear one in first. Always put copper grease on these bolts, guys. You're putting steel into aluminium, so you end up with galvanic corrosion, I think they call it. Right, but what I know is that aluminium and steel don't get on. So you put a bit of copper grease on. Copper's friendly with both metals, really, and then that way you don't end up with the problem. Now this one should go in from the other side, but whether it will or not is another thing. And whether I can find the mounting for it is also another thing. There's the mounting for it. This one's always a pain to get in. Always. Screwdriver. More screwdriver will help me get this rear bolt in. Just line it off of it. Just finding it is the problem. There we go. There's that one in. Or as in as it's going to go for now. Now these will come out. So, see? Put that one in there. Actually, on that side. Yeah. Now these ones go through steel, so you're alright. But it's when they go through aluminium that you worry about them. And that one there goes through there. We do have some nuts just to go on them for a minute, because we haven't finished with that lot yet. Oh, that nut belongs on that one. So, put that one there. That bolt's longer than it should be because there are crash bars that go on this bike. Alright. Do that nut up. Yes, I know there's an oil cooler sat there. Now this is a 450 engine and a 250 frame. So it will just show you how to do this, but it does fit. So what was I just looking for? M8 bolt, cap head bolt, and spacer. Now, I've still got a bit of welding to do on this part of the frame because I need to weld a mount for the bottom of here from the frame to go through these with some rubber bushes, but that can wait for a minute. Bolt goes through. Spacer, I don't know where that spacer came from. I think it's a spare petrol tank spacer. Oh, the frame's moving. And that goes on there, which is normally the horn mount on the CB250 400N frame. Get that Allen key and dart that one. There's also a shroud that goes around this oil cooler, so which I haven't put on there yet. Now, then you're left with those pipes. I've only put it on there to stop it getting in the way at the moment. Right, so I can get this rest of this rear bolt back in place. Which was the pain in the arse bit to do. Excuse my English. Getting it through that last little bit is never easy. Don't ask me why. Just have to get that rear bolt in properly. Lean the frame over, see what's doing. Right, yep. So now it says that needs to go over slightly and down. Alright, that should be near. One man and his engine. That's to put that. Right, yeah. The problem with these engines is where the frame is not the cradle type, it's a structural frame. That's one of them things. It can be a pain just to get that one bolt in, because you have to line up the engine perfectly, or get a hammer, block of wood, and just hope it lines up. This bolt's always the worst one to get in. But as long as you've got that top one, that top rear one that you're seeing, which is there, as long as you've got that bolt in, you're alright. Now, I can lean this now, like so. wiggle the frame around a bit. And try. Ah, there we go. That one's now in place. It's just lining that one bolt up. Right. Put the knot on it. Get some spanners, both 17mm, I think, no 14mm. Right now, two 14mm spanners, one for each side, and then just do that one up. As you can see, guys, I've painted the frame. Just gave it a quick coat of gloss black after stripping it down, like I say. Instead of taking me 2 days, because I use those paint stripping pads, it only took me a couple of hours. Those things really do strip the paint quickly. They're silicon carbide and like a nylon. Right, we'll do this nut up, which will then keep all our electrics good. That is the biggest fault. Everyone goes looking for problems with the live side of the engine and blah blah blah, and all the electrics. I'll tell you what, guys, as any decent car mechanic will tell you, a bad earth can cause you more problems than anything else. It will cause you a weak spark, it will cause all your electrics to fail, it will cause other problems. And the next thing you know, you have no electrics. Right, so now we have the bike sat there. We've got the engine in. As I say, I've got these bolts. I need to take that mount off. I need to loosen this oil cooler off again. Because, yeah, if I loosen the oil cooler off again, I put the pipes behind the front engine mount. Now I've got the back bolts on. Those back bolts are the main thing. So let's just take that oil cooler off again, because it's sat out the way nicely. Right, and we can take that off, and we can undo these again, because now this shouldn't be too hard to get off. Right. Should use a socket for this, but because this is the CB450 DX engine, it has a different front engine mount to the CB400N and CB400T, and it sticks out more this way, and you'll see why. Right, so we'll take those two bolts out. We will remove that. Oops, still got a bolt on the other side. Right, and we'll put this, let's move that cable out the way. We'll put this here, put that bolt back in with its spacer, and don't need to be in tight at the moment. Right, now here's where it all gets very interesting. That goes over the pipes, that goes underneath the starter motor cable, and then we put some front engine mounting bolts in Not the greatest front engine mounted bolts because I don't have any really nice ones to put in there at the moment. Right, and that bottom one. There, camera. Isn't that lining up? Oh, I see. Engine mount needs to go that way. Like so. Yeah. So now, where's the other engine mounting bolt? It's over there. Right. Have a think for a sec. These are always a bit of a pain to get in. We've got these two big pipes there. Under this mount, so that goes in there. We'll just loosely put the nuts on this time, just in case we've got to remove them again. Alright, put a couple of nuts on it. Right, that's there. Alright, now next part. Now, because I'm a pain and I don't like cleaning parts up, so I try and avoid it really. I went on eBay, Super Dream parts, a pair of stainless mirror finish, except that reg's filthy. Let me try and find a slightly cleaner one. One of the wife's tea towels. And I bought some stainless steel mirror finish, supposedly except for they're a pain to keep clean. Top engine mounting brackets. Right, like that. Right, so thanks to Ryan, I have a bolt that actually fits through there, which goes through the top mounting bracket, and then I have stainless cap head bolts, M8 by, I think it's 20mm, I guess, right. Which then screw into the frame. Now, in case you're wondering why I clean the edge of the frame where that earth bolt goes, there's a simple solution. It's actually for the kill switch. It's the only wire that really connects to the frame for an earth on a modified bike. If you're using a standard bike, then yes, there are a couple of bits that connect to it, but not a lot. Your indicators, what else? I think that's about it. And yeah, indicators. So another earth to connect to the frame. Right, so there's that top engine mounting in. I don't have the correct nut to fit it at the moment. I do have a nut just to keep it there. It just goes on the end, like so. So we'll just crank those up slightly, like so, with an Allen key. Won't do them up too tight yet. Now these ones, they're stainless steel going into steel, so I didn't copper grease them because I figure they should come undone alright later on. It's just any bolt that goes through aluminium, unless it's an aluminium bolt, just put some copper grease on them. Stop that galvanic corrosion. Right, so now we have a painted frame with the engine fitted, and we shouldn't lose all the electrics at any point, unlike the rest of the bikes that do. So that's the engine fitted, guys. That's quite a boring video, but yeah, that's one of the things. I've still got a few little bits to sort out on the frame, nothing particularly major, but as you can see, it's nice and shiny. Those shortened chassis rails look good, or frame rails, and the back here, as you can see, they're here. They look good. I like them. With the rest of the bike put back together, it looked very nice. Probably can't get a very good view of them there. If I move out of the way. Where are they? There. Yep. So as you can see, they got that edge. They do look quite nice. I do have to finish them off with that like little bit of welding there and bits like that. But that's sort of stuff I can spray in afterwards once I got a lot of the other bits done. Yeah. So I did spray over the rubber suspension mount. Not that it matters. The mount's in good condition. I took the other one out because it needed work. So yeah. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna call it a day there. If you like the video, like or press the like button, and somewhere down one of the corners, I think it's that one, there's a little thing that if you want to subscribe, go ahead. But yeah, so just another view of the bike. You can't really sit very well in this light. Let me just fiddle around the camera. Yeah, so there's the rear frame rails. The engine's in. You see I've painted the frame. Quite literally just gloss black. And yeah, there's those stainless mounts that I was on about. The mirror finish just makes the bike look a bit tidier. Yeah, so, and there is that infamous bolt that will cut out all of your electrics, and if you do what I said, you will have another 40 years of riding your bike with no problem with the electrics, or no problem with them disappearing, and it will be happy riding all the way. So, anyway guys, as I say, like, subscribe, take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.